What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sports Geek. What's going on? Is there something downloading here? Oh, my word. Something's downloading while I'm on the show. Anyway, guys, I'm Errol, your host. Lots going on with the Yankees. Today's show is basically, will the Yankees win the 2026 World Series? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say yes. 100% yes. I'm all on board. But more importantly, opening day, 13 days away. 13 days away, folks. So not that bad. Haven't been out for a while. There's a lot going on. As you can see, I'm working on some comic books behind me. The room's a mess. What you can't see is the chaos that's behind this chair and on that bed. But I haven't been out for a while. Was sick for a couple weeks. Then everything just backed up and a lot of issues going on. But everything's good now. A lot of things happened while I was out, while I was gone. I heard Judge had some comments about the Yankees offseason, how frustrating it was. Didn't feel like jumping on and commenting about that. I found it ridiculous that people were giving it, the gravity it didn't deserve, right? Every Major League Baseball player, which I'm going to comment on it now. I've stayed quiet for a while, but I'll touch on it briefly. Every Major League player has the want or the will to win. They want to win a World Series. They want to win games. They're athletes. They're professional athletes. They want to compete. So if people don't think that it's frustrating for Major League ball players to feel frustrated about an offseason when their goal is to win a championship or multiple championships, people, you got to be kidding yourselves. They're just like us. They're players, but they're also fans of their team. They want their team to do well, put together the best team possible to give them the best chance to compete. All of the Dodgers, all the Mets, and sort of the Yankees. I say sort of the Yankees because they cannot compete with the Dodgers and Mets. I'll go into that later in the show. I've got some segments here. I got some notes, trying to be more organized and just guide through this with ease. But of course he's frustrated. And then people say, oh, well, he kind of walked or talked it back because to cover himself. He's not going to badmouth his team, guys. I'm not sure what you're looking for. He's going to say what he feels. And then he's going to say, well, at the end of the day, they did get some people that I wanted. We look good. I feel better about that. But he was frustrated. Perfectly understandable. I think a lot of us who are Yankee fans are frustrated, or any fans of sports that want your team to kind of put something together that makes it worthwhile going to the game by yourself or with your family, with your friends, spend your hard-earned money. You want to kind of put a good product on the field, no matter what, right? So for people to feel like, he talked it back, he's not going to badmouth the team. It's just not who he is. But he did say, listen, I was frustrated. So for him, I'm glad he spoke up. I was just as frustrated. I think I did a show a while back that I stated that when the Yankees actually gave Trent Grisham the qualifying offer, I was excited at first. Yeah, believe me, I was. I was like, cool, we get a draft pick back if somebody picks him up. Because in my mind, I was like, somebody is going to give Trent Grisham over $22 million. Not for one season, but at least maybe, 2 years, 15 mil, 3 years, 45, somewhere around there, 3 years, 50, whatever it is. He was going to get more in the open market. I firmly believe that. And I still believe that to this day. He would have got more. And then when the Yankees did it, I'm like, oh, great. They're kind of pretty smart. They get a qualifying offer to Trent. If he signs elsewhere, they get a draft pick. But then the more and more I thought about it, I was like, that's dumb, right? That's dumb for me to think that way. And I thought the Yankees were thinking that way. And a lot of people thought the Yankees were thinking that way. A lot of content critics said the Yankees gave this guy money to get to pay $22 million in change to get a draft pick back. No fucking way. That's not what they did. I'm going to explain to you what they did in my belief, in my opinion, what they did. The Yankees, honestly, I truly feel, in my opinion, that they thought they could not sign Cody Bellinger. They weren't going to get him back. For more than one reason. The first reason is Scott Boras. That's it. Scott Boras. That's the main reason, right? Scott Boras is Juan Soto's agent. You saw how that went down. Scott Boras is Cody Bellinger's agent. You saw how that played out almost to the end. Scott Boras is a lot of athletes' agent. He represents a ton of people. He's difficult to work with because his MO is, you sign with me, I'm going to get you the most money in the most years. I'm going to set you up for life. And he's got a great track record of doing that. He does. He has. But he drags shit out. That's what he does. It sucks. And as fans, you hate that because this guy holds up the offseason. It's terrible. And Major League Baseball should step in and do something about it, but they won't. My point is, the Yankees, I feel, truly believe that they couldn't sign Cody Bellinger or bring him back. They wanted to. They openly admitted it, which Scott Boras was like, oh, yeah, they said it. Captain says they want both of them back. Oh, Lord, I'm going to have a field day with this. That's all he needed to hear. Cashman was in line. So they gave Trent Grisham the $22.5 million or whatever it is amount of money to retain him in case they couldn't get Bellinger. That's the reason why they did it. It's plain and simple. Listen, guys, the Yankees are stupid, but they're not dumb. Well, they're stupid, but yet they do some asinine shit, right? Or they're stupid, but I don't believe they're mentally, well, I can't say that word. Yes, they're not mentally challenged. I think that they really just said, here's $22 million. Hear me out. And it's off the books the following year. It's not a multi-year deal. It sucked that they tied that money up where they could have went out and got other players that could probably make the team better. But they said, we need a center fielder. And Grisham showed that he could play in New York. Not how many of us have seen time and time again people come to the Yankees and they can't perform. Grisham had a breakout year last year. He's usually not that good. People were complaining about his defensive woes. As I said before on other shows, he hurt his hamstring, and I'm pretty sure the Yankees said, bro, the same rule as Giancarlo Stanton, don't bust it to first base. We need your bat in the lineup. Giancarlo does not run very fast to first. Not that he doesn't want to, it's because he'll pop a hammy. Grisham was a little bit below average defensively last year. I'm pretty sure they told him, hey, don't, if you got to just jog over to it, you can get it great, but don't bust it out there because we need your bat. He was doing well. He tapered off towards the end of the season, but he did well. So for the Yankees, like, well, we have a short thing that knows how to play center field. He's great defensively. He's very smooth out there. He doesn't break a sweat. Very casual, very majestic out there, almost a la Bernie Williams. Bernie Williams was like a deer, like a gazelle out there. Long strides, very graceful, but he was moving and made it look easy. Okay. So I figured they said, let's sign him, lock him up for 1 year, and then the money's off the books. But it goes even further than that, guys. Don't follow Errol's first feeble-minded choice of thinking, oh, we get a draft pick back at $22.5 million. No, that's not why they did it. Check this out. If Grisham doesn't perform this year, the Yankees can cut ties with him. Why? It's $22.5 million. Come the trade deadline, they paid the majority of his contract, more than half. Somebody will pick him up and say the Yankees say, okay, we'll eat $3 million off his contract and you pay him $5 or $7 or whatever's left of it by the trade deadline. Someone will pick him up and they get back a low level prospect and they'll go get a different center fielder, or maybe Spencer Jones is ready. Or maybe Dominguez is performing. Both those guys are going to AAA, no matter how you look at it. They're going to start the season in AAA, and whichever one's doing better, if Grisham is shit in the bed, they're calling one of those guys up. Or they'll trade for someone and they'll cut ties with them because the majority of the money's already gone. And if you get a team to take even $7 million of what's left of it, you get the money back into your pocket. So you really got him at 15 plus million if he's not performing. If he's performing great, keep him. It worked out. The plan worked out, but it's off the books at the end of the year. Why? There's so many baseball players. Well, I can get into Scooble. I don't think the Yankees are going to get Tarek Skubal. I'll tell you why. I have a firm belief, and it's just my opinion, the Yankees are going to wait and save their money for Paul Skeens. They're not going to give a prospect for him. Maybe he's a year away. Maybe they're going to spend the money on Paul Skeens, but there's a problem with that. They have to kind of outbid the Dodgers and the Mets. That's the problem, which was my next segment. They're not. Let's get this through our heads, Yankee fans. They are no longer the top franchise. They're not going to be. They operate within a budget, a very fiscally responsible budget. There must be a profit from revenue, and you can't operate as a loss. Otherwise, you're going to not have a team. The Dodgers, the Mets, they've got some deep pockets within those two franchises that they could do a lot of different things. So we could say, well, Hal sell the team to or partner up with a hedge fund company. I guess he could if he wanted to. Until that happens, if it ever happens, it's a family-run business. I don't see it happening. I don't know. But they're not going to operate within those confines. They still spend pretty heavy. They got a pretty high payroll right now. For what we're getting from it, I don't see it. I don't see the value of it. But the reason why they won't get Tarek Skubal is because Carlos Rodon, Max Fried, Ryan Weathers. That's 3 lefties in the possible starting rotation. 2 definitely, but there's 3 starters there that are lefties. I don't see them picking up a 4th. I just don't see it. Not to mention they have to go up against the Dodgers and the Mets for Tarek Skubal services, which he's going to get paid. He's getting paid. Big money. Unless he gives Detroit a discount, which they went into an argument over arbitration this year. I can't see the discount happening, but that's my opinion. So the Yankees are no longer the Yankees. And the sooner we kind of understand that, the better it is. But what I will say is that there's a ton of money coming off the books. Ton of money. The Yankees also have they're rated, the 25th, 26th farm system? They've traded a lot of guys over the years. I get that. But the young arm talent they have, they don't have a lot of position players that are in the top 100. Pitching costs money. You can trade for a bat. You can pay for a bat if you really need a bat. But it's hard to get good pitching. Look around the league, guys. There's only so many top pitchers. So if every team has 2 out of 30 teams, that's it. The rest are number 3s and 4s. Unless you're the Dodgers. You might have 5 or 6 starters that are probably number 1, but that's the Dodgers. Even the Mets don't have that. Right? So if the Yankees can develop pitching and trade from their pitching depth, they can get a bat. And guys like Carlos Agrande, Elmer Rodriguez, Ben Hess, guys that we're hearing a lot about, they've got some young arm talent coming up that throws mad gas, and they're working on their command, their control. If those guys pan out, the young Cam Slittler, a la Garrett Cole 2.0. Guy's a beast. And he's going to advance. Young Will Warren. He's going to take the next step forward. Young Luis Heel. These guys aren't young. I think Will Warren's younger than Luis Heel, but Luis is 25, 26, somewhere around there. These guys, they're going to take the next step forward. And when you got guys like that in your rotation, you don't need to pay $40 million a year for Tarek Skubal when you can spend that money on a younger version and a right-handed version of Paul Skeens, my opinion. So don't fret, folks. Don't shed a tear. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing is going to be all right. So just don't worry. Don't worry. So the Yankees, they are in the position where they're at. I've seen some really good watching some spring training games. I'm really impressed with the young arm talent that's out there that they have on their team. And knock on wood, hope they stay healthy. If they stay healthy, they're going to have a good system. And, right now, Brock Selvage actually went down. He's out for the year for Tommy John. That's a lefty that they have down there. But, Dax Kilby is a position player. He's pretty good. We've seen George Lombard this spring. Potential future shortstop or third base. He's pretty good. Defensive wizard right now. Could play the major leagues defensively, just needs time to develop the bat. Even if he's a 240 hitter, 250 hitter, it's better than what Volpe's going to give you, right? So a lot of things to be excited about. Disregard what the people are saying about their farm system. There's some depth in there. Really is. And honestly, other farm systems are overrated. How many of the Dodgers homegrown talent have you seen develop? How many? How many of the Brewers? The Brewers are trading for talent that's in their farm now. They didn't acquire it all by themselves. Yeah, Jackson Trio. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. All right, whatever. But they make it seem like all these systems are just producing like all-stars and superstars left and right. It doesn't work that way. No team does that. You'll get one or two guys out of your system every 5-10 years. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Plus, a lot of the Yankee guys are actually playing at the major league level. Austin Wells, Ben Rice, obviously Aaron Judge. Back in the day was Gary Sanchez. Derek Jeter come out of there. Bernie Williams, Andy Pettit, Mariano. I can go on and go on. Their system, Jorge Posada, they've developed some players. It's not like it was all dog crap. It was dog crap for a while, but it's gotten a lot better. So, anywho, I don't feel like staying on here too long, but on other notes, the Yankees, the USA almost got eliminated from the World Baseball Classic. Yeah. I'm sure you guys are watching it, So, crazy stuff. But I hope they continue going forward. It's fun to watch. It's different. But I also missed our guys back on our team where they need to be because, as you can see, we've lost a few games without them. But that's all I really have for today. I don't have anything much. I predict the Yankees are going to win the World Series. I do. I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say it. I'm hoping it's going to happen. The team looks good. I think if everyone stays healthy, if they're healthy, they've got a shot. And come September, if they call up a few guys from the minors, whether it's Carlos Agrane and maybe a couple others to boost that bullpen or boost the rotation if need be, they can be lights out, right? Maybe pick up another bat at the trade deadline. We'll see what happens. Guys, remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. Really appreciate you guys sticking with me through thick and thin. Like I said, I was back. Like I said, I was sick. It wasn't COVID, but I was sick for like a couple of weeks. I had this cough. It was nasty. It was nasty. Couldn't get rid of this cough. And then work got real busy. Work has been very busy lately. But stay tuned for more. I'll try and get something next week once the season draws closer to being open. I believe they start in San Francisco on the 25th at 8:05 p.m. versus the Giants. Max Fried is the opening day starter. That should be fun. And I'm looking forward to it. I was hoping to try to go to a spring training game this year. I don't know if I'm going to have any time. I live in Tampa. Go figure. But that's all I got for you guys. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. I appreciate it. I'm Errol from Sports Geek. Peace out.